roll call? Yeah, you do, don't you?
We don't have to, I can.
It's a workshop.
Oh, go
Okay,
ahead.
roll
Want to know
call.
who's here?
Mayor Scripture,
Look, yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Sampson,
Here.
Councilman Georges,
Here.
Councilmember Moffett,
Present?
Councilmember Shepherd.
Here.
We're all here, Madam Mayor. You don't get to vote to the real meeting.
Okay, that's good. That's fair enough. All right. Okay, did you have any, I'm just going to go down. Did you have anything this evening, Mr. Georges? No, you're not changing, just anything that you want to discuss on the agenda. This is your opportunity to,
On the
without having to
agenda.
make motions or do crazy stuff. Yes, we'll do that when we start the
Right.
regular meeting.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
So, did you have anything you wanted to?
Not that's on the agenda, but I do want to say one thing. Okay. What I want to do is just publicly thank the 1,509 people in our city who recognize the fact that we have to modify our charter. And I do thank them for that, because I think it's going to move our city in the right direction forward, not backward. And again, say thank you.
Might as well congratulate the charter commissioners that go along with it.
And I want to congratulate all the charter commissioners that go along with it.
There you go.
Give all of them? I don't remember all the names.
That's why I just go with all of them. How about you, Councilmember?
No, I don't have anything. But thank you.
Councilmember Moffett?
Well, I hope we're going to discuss what everyone came here to discuss. Are we going to discuss it now, or are we going to remove them when we start the meeting? There's a bunch of insulting and ridiculous items on the agenda, and I think that's what everyone's here to find out what's going on with those. We're going to discuss them now. That's the purpose of this pre-meeting meeting.
I would then defer to Mayor Pro Tem Sampson, because it's my understanding you added those items to the agenda. Contrary to popular belief, we don't all write the agenda.
And so thanks for clarifying that, because I know there was a lot of talk
Council.
about who added them and the intention of who added them, and then there was denials about who added them. So thank you. It was Mr. Sampson who added those, correct?
We should comment, but I told you.
My understanding, that's, so I'm,
I want to tell, I just want to tell everybody, council was forced into accepting an incorrect budget because we did not want to hurt our bond rating. We were supposed to have a new budget by August 13th, or a corrected budget by August 13th, and it never happened. 5 months later, we still don't have a corrected budget. The things that I put on this agenda, I would never vote for. Trust me, I would not lay anybody off. But the reality is, if we don't have a budget, and we find out at the end of the year that money got moved, we right now don't know if we're 500,000 ahead or below. It's a shambles. And city manager, when can we get a budget that we can vote on?
amended budget.
Amended or corrected budget?
All right. Amendments were a couple meetings ago. I know you weren't happy with them, so it was not moved at that time. I double-checked with the city attorney just to make sure that we did have an approved budget, and by law, they can't create a new budget and
I said
discard
corrected.
that
I said a
one.
corrected budget.
Correct. So I would propose that we have a financial workshop coming up where the budget is laid out for the new mayor and the new council, step by step. It can have question and answers, and we can discuss item by item what is appropriate or not appropriate, and then also go through the budget amendment process, and then the quarterly report. And as we work through that in an informal workshop, come back to the next meeting with the presentation of formalized budget amendments that go along with the approved budget.
What kind of date you talking about? By the time we get done, it'll be next year.
No, I would, the new council comes on board officially, I mean, after the organizational meeting on the 6th, then on the 16th is the first meeting. I would recommend on that date that it be discussed. If I pick it now, it might not be valid for the new mayor or the new council. So I would think we could address it at that meeting on the 16th for this workshop. It can be that week or the following week, and keep the ball rolling on this. But I think in our reality, to address the new board, we have a breakdown on that, like we discussed, a workshop, step by step on that budget to see what is not understood or what you feel is wrong, and let the finance director and other department heads be present and work through it as a team and see where we go from there, and then get to the future budget amendments.
I'd like to ask Mr. Sampson to apologize to the good people of Clausen and the employees here for putting these kinds of things on the agenda for political theatrics. You put these, you play games with people's lives, with their livelihood, and that's not what Clausen's about. And I think you need to apologize.
I will never apologize for watching the community's money, the citizens' money.
You're not.
These people could end up laid off by the city manager. You know what? We can't even lay them off. So you guys are worried about nothing.
We have a budget that
Wait a
everyone
minute, I'm
approved.
talking. If the city manager finds out he doesn't have money, then he has to lay them off. We got to be right for these people. They got to know what's happening in the city, and we don't have a budget. So I'm not going to apologize for bringing these people. Finally, we got everybody involved. Now you guys got to start asking us, where's the budget? Because if we don't have a budget, things.
All
No,
approved
they-
it. Yep.
It was approved because if we didn't approve it that day,
Duress.
under duress, that we would ruin our bond rating. So we did it. We were supposed to have the budget by the 13th of August.
Actually,
And we-
we were supposed to have it right.
We were supposed to have it
pretty
several
quick
times over
after
the
that.
last
It was
5 months.
supposed to happen quickly. All the amendments and the stuff we were asking for, because we passed it, was supposed to happen quickly, and it never happened.
You think a lot of you showed up today. If we go bankrupt, then a lot more of you are going to show up, find out what we were doing.
We're not going bankrupt.
We're not going bankrupt, and there's no, the budget is balanced, the budget is functional, and I trust the city employees, especially the employees who created the budget, and we need to stop criticizing the employees and start working with them. Fortunately, there's a new day coming, and the new council's going to take up the gauntlet and hopefully run it in a more cooperative and appreciative manner.
So, having been someone that's gone through the budget very closely for months and months, there were a lot of errors. There were errors in the workshops that I pointed out and that were categorically said, no, that's not an error. They were. They was refusal to make any of the changes, refusal to discuss any of the changes. There was a refusal to provide information on the surplus that we had at the end of last year for, well, at least what we were showing at that time, because we had projected 300 something, and it was 1 million something. There was no discussion or anything on that. And the budget was put back in front of us with none of those errors corrected, with nothing that was pointed out. And no matter how many times we asked for information, we're told, well, we gave it to you. No, I think I know if I got something I asked for, and we didn't. So I'm not sure why everybody in this room is so confident that the budget is so correct. Other than the fact that there's just a dislike of me and other people that are questioning it, I just don't, where's the confidence that the budget is so correct?
I can answer that question. I trust the person that we hired as our financial director based on her years of experience and what she brought to the table, that she's doing her job. I trust the city manager that if she was not doing her job, he would address that. And to the extent that she's doing her job and the city manager's doing his job, that's all we need to know.
I believe we took a no confidence vote last meeting, and it was 4-1.
Well, it's not Star Wars, so.
So we're not allowed to ask any questions as far as the budget. Is that what your point is?
No, it's not the point. The point is that we had a lot of discussions.
Okay, so I would like to
And
know
she-
more detail on what's in it, and we haven't seen anything. So
We-
that's why I want to find out
You-
more about it.
The budget's
So we
available. You
continue.
could get a copy of the budget. Did you review it?
We will have the workshop, right? We're going to have that after we have everybody seated, and then we'll have another opportunity to go through that.
Did-
If there's something that's there, guess what? We'll have that opportunity to ask those questions and get those questions answered at that point in time. Right now is not the time to discuss it.
Did you review the budget?
Okay? Do you understand? We
But-
do not need to discuss that
but
right
did
now.
you?
We need to ask the questions at the appropriate time. Thank you.
So I'll take that as no.
I think it's important that a lot of people understand the transparency when it comes to the budget, and right now, we don't have it. I
had
want to make sure that
tons of
that's understood
workshops.
at the time of the budget, when we have the workshop, that we ask those questions and is presented in a way with a level of detail that everybody has confidence in. And the fact that we're not allowed to question whether or not the detail that's been provided, which is none, we had that discussion and we had the no confidence on it because there was no level of detail there. I'm looking for that level of detail from that workshop and have those questions asked, because I know there are plenty of people that are out there that want to know that
So
detail.
do you have a list of specific questions, Glenn?
Let's have the workshop.
So you don't. So you're just
We
going on.
haven't had the workshop.
You're going on the rumor and innuendo. We had tons of workshops
Rumor
about
and
the budget.
innuendo is why we have all these people out here right now.
No, this is why we have all these people
No,
out
it's
here.
because they believe that they were getting fired, and that's not the case, and everybody knows that, right? Because guess what? As we've discussed at every other meeting that we've had, who can do the hiring and firing is sitting right there as far as the city manager.
That it should never have been on the agenda and never published.
Oh, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with it. But again, everybody knows the process, and we don't litigate it on Facebook. That's ridiculous. So.
So when the budget comes, Chief Sarvella, if I might suggest, at least at a minimum, it follow the state requirements for a budget, because the one we received months and months ago did not. So,
Well, that's why I'm suggesting that workshop after talking with Mayor Pro Tem Sampson. I wasn't a part of the conversations that were had to approve that budget because of the bond rating back in June. I wasn't a part of that conversation, but as we discussed, when these items came up, if we have that workshop and we have the question and answer and we're going item by item, that's when they can be addressed one by one. What council agrees with and disagrees, and they may disagree with something that's actually accurate, but don't know the full story of it. And I'm not a finance expert.
I understand, that's not what I was
So that's
talking
why I'm
about.
saying,
What I'm
if we
asking
have
is,
this,
there's requirements by the state of Michigan for the minimum that's to be presented to a council in a budget by the city manager, through its finance director. And I'm just saying, can we make sure that we actually meet that minimum?
we will.
Did you need, if you'd like, I can send you that statute with the highlighted portions, but that's what I want to make sure, because we still, the point of the law is to make sure that at least a certain level of information is available to a council to review. And by the way, they can ask for any level of detail they want. It's money, it's taxpayer dollar, that's our job. But it's to make sure we, at least at a certain level, and we never received that. So in other words, we didn't even, it wasn't even in compliance with the law.
Okay.
So, Mayor Pro Tem Sampson, did you want to, just for clarity, so as we get into the meeting, I can figure out what we're changing on the agenda? What items?
We can take them three off. Got everybody's attention finally, they're here.
Help me with the number, letters.
F, G.
Which one do you want to take off?
I'm asking you.
F.
F? Hold on, let me write a note. So I have to add one. Okay. I'm sorry, what?
Wait.
H?
No,
No, yes.
no, H we keep. What do you take off?
G?
I. No, G is, G, we can take G off.
659, okay.
I believe we should take E all the way through K off.
Actually, E, doesn't that fall in line with some of the other?
What, E?
Actually,
E all the way through K.
Well, we had a motion that ended 1st of November.
oh,
We put that on because we didn't have a budget then. And we put it to November to have a budget by November. Now it's November, we still don't have a budget, so we should extend that.
okay, that's fine, I'm just asking about taking on or off so I can do
Well,
something and thing, but I do want to ask, I thought the other one was new additions and that you amended it and didn't have filling of open positions.
Well, you can remove the open positions, I don't care.
Okay. I mean, I'll leave it if it's on here, I'm just
No,
asking.
we take the open positions off.
Well,
If you
I mean, I'm
leave
not-
E on, that precludes us from hiring a new city manager, and that's ridiculous.
No, it says the administration. We can do,
Well, that's why I said about the filling of open positions.
yeah.
That's
You can
fine,
take that off.
I'm just mentioning
Yeah, take
it.
the open position part off.
I'm not, I'm just gonna wait till we get, I'm just mentioning it. Because I'm not, I mean, we'll vote on it in the actual session, so whether it goes on or off, I'm just trying to get clarity. So when I ask for, so F and G is off. No, let them babble, we're no work, I don't care.
No,
Then we can do our business. Then,
taking off F completely.
yeah, I got that off. G. Is that all
You can take off H right now.
for now? You sure?
Yeah.
Get that on there, that means the city manager has it on his list.
Wait a minute. Let's leave it on.
We can
Let's
discuss.
see how, let's vote on it.
So
we can
I
always
said
vote on it.
You can vote on it, so I might question I at this time, but you can always vote on it. And anything else? I know I have a few items that I'm going to need to. Does anybody else, because when we get there, so we don't have anything they have to add? I have to add an appointment, anything? Any notes I need to make? Okay. Then- Anything else to discuss before we have to start making motions and? No? Because I can adjourn the study session or one more time? No?
I'm good.
No? Go ahead and adjourn. Yeah, oh, I'm just saying.
It's up to you. Okay.
I mean, we don't have to vote on it. We're just-
No.
No, that's what I'm saying. All
We're
right.
done.
7:30,
You
back
can
in
adjourn whenever
session.
you want. 7:30, we'll start the regular meeting.
All right, then we'll adjourn the workshop, and 7:30, we'll start the regular meeting. Looks like we're taking a few of those items off the agenda. And just a reminder, public comment, the first one is for items on the agenda. If they're no longer on the agenda, we would hold the public